We have a history of inventing holidays, and one of them is coming up real soon. It's the first one ever.
He's talking about Double D Day.
Not that one.
No.
Brody, you've invented it. It's the World Bellyquake Extravaganza.
Oh, shit. That was a year ago?
No, we never did. We invented it in like March.
Oh, okay.
And then we said it was in late November for some reason. We didn't even invent it for the time we were in.
Do you got like something planned for the big one?
The big day?
Yeah.
I don't know. What should I do? What should be our first tradition going into the World Bellyquake Extravaganza?
Well, right off the top of my dome, I remember almost nothing of what we said about it. Other than it was people just laughing.
Yeah, people laughing during sports. There's the Giggle Olympics. Remember that?
Bazinga, you know.
That's the slogan for the Bellyquake Extravaganza.
That's a bazinga. I can full on imagine two freaking like announcer guys up in their booth, like they're just like, "Well, Tom, I've got to say that was a bazinga."
Bazinga indeed, Ron.
Bazingas for everyone.
Let's get back down to the wrestling match. Good God, are they giggling?
They're having a great time.
Oh, they're making out. No, cut the cameras.
That's a bazinga.
Wait, good and bad endings in sports are bazingas?
They're all bazingas, man.
There's a bazinga and that's a bazinga.
Thanks, Sheldon Cooper.
He invented the word of our generation.
I hope not. I disagree. I don't.
Wait, what's your favorite word then, Brody? What's the word of our generation?
I know mine.
Yeah, give it to me.
I love calling people jabroni.
That's a good one. That's very much of our generation too, so that fits the bill, man.
What about you, Caleb?
I like the word crumple. I don't know why. It's just got such a good like vibe to it. I know it's not like a fun word, but like it's a good one to say, man.
When a car goes over the overpass, you look down and you're like, that's a good crumple.
I don't like the concept. I like the word. It just feels good off the tongue, you know?
Oh, if we're going with that, like I really like flump.
That's a fake word?
Yeah, it feels good to say though.
Yeah. I like good jubilation.
There you go.
That one feels awful to say.
Yeah, that felt awful to hear too.
What about squelch? That's a pretty good word.
That's just a brand of grape juice.
Well, okay, if we're going that way, I really like Fruit-Dystopia. That word feels good. Feels like a city of juice in my mouth, you know? That should have been their slogan.
It's a city of juice.
Fruit-Dystopia, city of juice in your mouth.
Brody, this is wild because I've never put the word fruit and utopia together. I did not realize that's where it was from.
I imagine.
Wait, Brody, maybe it's fruit and dystopia put together.
Oh, no.
Fruitopia PD, open your mouth. This man has no juice in his mouth.
Get it in, get it in.
The law requires you have at least 20 milliliters of juice in your mouth at all times.
To the Badlands with you.
To the C+. No, wait, that's another brand of juice.
Sunny D.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. The Sunny D realm is like fucking floating among us, like high above. Like they're on that Sunny D train. Right. They can afford Sunny D on the daily.
BioShock 3.
And then the winter realm is called the Kool-Aid realm. You know?
Yeah.
It's where you go to get chilly and do your ski jumps and stuff.
Yeah.
All the birds will live in their nesties.
Freaking. And then the carbonation attacked.
Nice. The carbonation.
I can't think of any other juices, my man.
Well, Sunny D often goes to war with the Capri Suns.
Fuck. Yo, man. I'm just thinking about those freaking, like, plastic metallic looking packages just freaking slurping up those juices. Fuck,
Zach, the leader of the Capri Suns, he's really rich, right? He's got a really big house. And in order to clean it, he's got to hire the Minute Maid.
Well done.
Okay. Congrats on that joke if you didn't Google other juices.
I didn't. I thought of Minute Maid. It was real.
gang? Welcome back to Anime Not Be For Everyone. It's me, your baby boy Brody, and you're my even babyer boy listeners. Yes, you are. Gucci Gucci. I've done this before, and yet it feels good doing it again.
You did it literally last episode, but now you're adding the extra element that you are also a baby boy, Brody, and it's a lot better in my mind now.
Who changes the diapers?
We're just a bunch of little baby boys here. You're just my slightly younger ones. All right. Welcome back, and I hope you're going to have a good time listening to this podcast.
It's something.
It's next.
My name is Caleb Morden, and I hate anime, but...
Gucci Gucci Goo!
No.
Yes, you are! Yes, you are!
Stop it! I'm not a baby. I'm the dad here, Brody.
What?
You're my baby boy, and I brought the listeners to you for the first time, and they're your little brother, and now you got to take care of them because I'm an absentee father.
Jeez.
But I'm a little baby boy.
Stop adopting.
No, you're the boss baby. All right, let's be honest here.
Can I just be a dad wearing diapers? Because that works for me too.
That's not an image anybody needs.
But you're a cute little guy.
All right, I'm Caleb Morden. I hate anime. And I realized that you guys have your own little intro bits in the past from the last episode. And I want to be a little more positive with my life. Instead of saying I hate things, I want to also throw in that I love things, you know? So I hate anime, but I love dipping corn dogs into honey. There you go.
What a strong stance to like things.
I can't feel like this is, again, very similar to the beginning of the show.
Yeah, but you stopped doing it, so I'm taking it from you.
Fucking motherfucker! Well, fuck yeah then. I'm a lawyer again. Come at me, bro. This is how we're going. Let's do this. Zach, who are you?
Oh, he's prepping.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Daniel Radcliffe.
No.
Famous for such movies as Harry Porker and the Half-Chub Prick, as well as Buns Akimbo.
You got more. Zach, you have more. Give them to me.
Is he in anything else?
Yes.
I did do a movie back then called Swiss Army Man. And I'm working on the sequel right now. It's just called Swiss Cheese Man.
Gross.
Wait, it was all penis stuff, though, wasn't it? All sex stuff? Why isn't it Piss Army Man?
Holy fuck, I gotta call my director.
Bring, 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 bring.
Hello, Gerald. I told you I didn't want to use my cock anymore, but god damn it. Yeah. Listen to me. Piss Army Man.
Oh my god. Brilliant!
We're gonna have you pee in a million different ways.
I'm ready. I'll do the surgery.
What do you mean by that?
He's committed to the bit, man. He's making his penis into a Swiss Army knife that pees in all different ways.
Yeah, that was Daniel Radcliffe.
Thanks for that. You brought him into existence, and that's something I didn't think I needed, but I did.
You're welcome.
Oh, like Daniel Radcliffe.
Son of a slut.
Just kidding. It's the meanest thing. I'm so sorry. I got it. It was funny.
Never thought about that man's name. It's just like somebody was giving him a last name. They're like, hey, look at that Radcliffe. And they're like,
someone was naming this.
Just giving him his last
parents?
name. Yeah.
No, he's a celebrity, man. It's not his real last name. He was just like, what should I make my last name? And he's like, it's a Radcliffe.
Historically, you only choose a new last name when you're like running from genocide.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You think most of celebrities choose their last names? Like change
Natalie Portman, other examples I can think of.
So was Brad's last name actually Brad Pitty?
Yeah, he thought it was stupid.
Yeah, he's like, people keep on calling me Brad Titty. Oh, like it.
Now they're just going to call me Brad Tit, and that's a little better.
Yeah, it doesn't sound so jiggly, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Isn't that like tits are small, titties are big? Think about that.
Oh, well, more letters, right? Tablespoon and teaspoon.
Those are different words, really.
Yeah, but it's TBSP versus TSP, Brody. So it is. It holds true.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff, guys. Good job. All right.
What are we talking about this week, boys?
What are we talking about?
It's the 10th episode. Not really, because last episode was the 50th, but every 10 episodes I come in and I lead an episode, guys. And I do anime-adjacent shows for the most part. This time, didn't have a whole lot of time because I was busy editing that last episode. So guess what I'm doing? Full-on American anime, Brody? Is it anime?
Will Brody get angry?
I won't get angry. I'm a sweet baby boy.
He is. He's taking the sweet baby boy role. But I'm going to talk about a show that I've actually watched before. Believe it or not. I watch cartoons sometimes. That's crazy. I watch Invincible Season 1.
Ooh.
Fun.
I think everybody here has watched the show, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Seth Rogen was an alien.
Yeah, big fan, big fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think it works for the time because Invincible Season 2 is coming out right now. Well, weirdly enough, the first half of Invincible Season 2 is coming out.
I think the first 2 episodes are out, and like the other 2 are coming out or are already out for like influencers to talk about.
What the heck?
That's so
I know.
lame.
It's a strange world we live in.
Surely that means I can torrent them, right?
What, the streamer versions?
Well, influencers have no integrity. They're going to put it up on the internet.
You might just have to watch it with PewDiePie's face in the bottom corner.
Why would PewDiePie be doing it? He plays Minecraft.
Does he still? I don't know what PewDiePie is doing anymore.
I think he's got a kid now, so he does nothing.
Yeah, he's waiting for the kid to be old enough to play. And then, the money's coming in.
Oh, shit.
All right, so for those of you who don't know, Invincible is an American animated cartoon show that's an adaptation of a comic book series of the same name.
Ooh.
It's published by Marvel. No, we're going to do Dora the Explorer. DC.
No. Fuck no, Dora. We're not wasting your time.
Swiper, no swiping. No, it's
Swiper,
it's published
no fucking around.
by a secondary comic people called Image Comics. If you've ever heard of that, you probably...
I'm the map, 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 I'm the map.
Guide us to safety, Brody.
I'm the map, I'm the map.
I don't know anything about Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, it's...
Anyway, Invincible was written by 3 people, Robert Kirkman being one of them. Do you guys know what he does?
No, bro.
This is actually big. He writes the Walking Dead comics. So if you've seen that before, you kind of know what you're in for with this show.
I did like the first couple seasons.
Amazon picked up this show in 2021. It was around that time that everybody was making their knockoff Marvel and DC content. You know what I mean? We're talking The Boys. We're talking that other Netflix superhero show that Brody said he liked for a little bit.
Mr. Incredible and the Fan.
Yeah.
That was way earlier than this. Anyway, and they got an all-star studded cast. Like Glen from The Walking Dead.
Oh my God.
Plays the main character. It's crazy. It ties in, man.
That's wild.
J.K. Rowling plays... Omni-Man. Just kidding. No, it's J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons.
From notable works such as Spider-Man, Kung Fu Panda 3, Jennifer's Body.
What are you
Gravity
doing
Falls.
right now? What are you doing?
Well, I will start the episode then, Brody, because you don't like the freaking history. I love history, man.
All right, I'm sorry. This is just
That's good to know. Like you said, yeah, it came from a time when everybody was trying to do superhero shit, but this one's special because it's got J.K. Simmons.
And J.K. Rowling.
And sometimes.
It does not have J.K. Rowling.
I thought the mom sounded familiar. And really transphobic.
Yeah. She does make a few comments in there. I wasn't gonna say it, but it makes sense.
Omni-Man's called Omni-Man for a reason.
I'm reading here she threatened to walk off the project multiple times if she wasn't allowed to speak her mind.
Yeah, they kept trying to call him Omni-Person, and she's like,
nope.
Your man's a man. Sorry. All right, episode 1. This is a very cliche superhero story, so it establishes some characters, but the end of the episode's really what kicks off this show. At the beginning, there's a White House attack. Oh no, big, huge, bad plot, you know? Guess what? Two brother-looking dudes show up. They're blue, they're bald, they wearing spandex. Pretty crazy.
Blue Man Group is attacking the White House?
They're trying, man. They got their, like, percussive instruments.
Oh my god. Everybody, get your guns.
No, but they can't shoot Zach because they're so enamored by the Blue Man group. You can't just shoot them. They look crazy.
It's hypnotism powers.
It really is. No, but there are two guys who look like brothers, but immediately they make it well known that they are clones and that both of them think that they're the original. And the other one they think the other one's the clone, and they're like, no, I'm the original. And it's a
sci-fi.
It's a fun dynamic.
Yeah. I'm going to call them the Clone Boys from here on out.
Sweet.
So they're at the White House for what reason? Well, none other than to kill the president, because why not?
No, Obama.
I know. Was it Obama? No, it was Trump. So
could you imagine just everyone like paid to protect him just like lowers their guns and moves to the side? Trump's like, this is a huge betrayal.
I love the Blue Man group.
Why is your Trump fucking British, dude?
I actually don't know how to do him.
It's huge, eh?
Fake news.
Fake news,
Fake
isn't it?
news, isn't it? That's me, Trump.
Oh, God.
So the Mahler twins are attacking the White House trying to kill Donald Trump. They're called the Clone Boys. Sorry,
the
guys.
Clone Boys, come on.
And then the Avengers show up.
They're full on more freaking Justice League.
Brody, I've written here. Wait, no, it's the Justice League.
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
Wait a second. There's 7 of them. Is it the 7?
Oh.
No, not them either, man. No, they're called the Guardians of the Globe.
Nice. All right. Tell us about the Justice League.
You got
response.
it's essentially the Justice League, like person for person. It's the Immortal.
Superman.
He's essentially Superman. Yeah, he can fly.
Let's
strong.
do a game. Do the one.
Okay,
we'll figure it out.
I love it. We got Red Rush.
That would be the Flash.
You nailed it. Yeah, but what's different about him, Brody?
He's Russian.
He's Russian, which is funny because he's also rushing.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
that's so good.
We got ready for this one? Dark Wing.
I'm Batman.
But he's Batman. But what's different about him, Brody?
He's Black Man.
He's Black Batman. He essentially just is. We have War Woman.
That's Wonder Woman.
War Woman is Wonder Woman, but her difference, she has a mace.
Cool.
Pretty cool. Other than that, she's exactly Wonder Woman. It's ridiculous. We got Martian Man. Who's that, Brody?
Martian Manhunter.
Almost like even the name is exactly the same.
Yeah.
We got Aquarius,
Aquaman.
but
He's more fish.
he's a fish. And then we have an original here, I think. Unless Brody does know more about DC than me. We got Green Ghost. Is that somebody who... She's essentially a woman in a green morph suit, and she can, like, make things intangible. She touches something, and it, like, goes invisible or, like, sinks through things, and then she can let go.
Oh, interesting. She's a parody
What?
of Green Lantern because he can make inanimate objects with his green. Yeah.
Right.
Interesting. I didn't pick that up either.
But they come into the White House, and they're using all of their cool Justice League powers and the power of teamwork to take out these Clone Boys. But somehow the Clone Boys slightly get the upper hand. They start destroying stuff, and the team has to separate and save all the civilians. And in comes Omni-Man. Now, Omni-Man is even more Superman, I guess, than the Immortal. Like, they're both Superman. This guy is more Superman, you know?
I'm tracking. Yep.
He wears a white suit with red on it. He's got a red cape. So that's Superman, bro. Okay. Immortal doesn't have a cape. This guy
of
got
course,
a cape.
of course.
But Omni-Man is kind of middle-aged looking. He's got salt and pepper hair and a mustache, so...
He must be around 50 then, I'd imagine.
Wink, wink.
What? Anyway, he comes in and he like almost single-handedly takes down the twins, and they get arrested, and they save the president, and the president congratulates all of them, and it's a happy superhero story, you know?
Well, thank you so much, Omni-Man.
That was a
This
much...
is huge.
Okay, your Obama is so much better than your Trump. I'll give you that.
It's because he respects him a lot more.
Yeah.
Touche. I respect that.
We go back home to Omni-Man, which his name's also Nolan. I write Omni-Man most of the time, but sometimes I might say Nolan. You go back home and he's got a wife, Debbie, and a son, Mark. Mark is a normal teenage nerdy boy, but I guess Freudian slip here I wrote he's got a nerdy body.
What in the fuck?
Got such a nerdy body.
I love that freaking nerd.
That pocket protector and freaking suspenders. Let's go.
I want to pick him up by the suspenders and just tongue him.
The way he's got little tiny suspenders for his socks and his shoes.
Well, that's just classy.
Can tell me the square root of literally everything.
Oh my god, he can recite pi all the way to the end.
To the end.
Does my taxes lickety split?
He can quadratic my equation.
Oh, his nerdy body.
Anyway,
That
none of his friends.
butt.
Guys, I know what it's like now. It's awful. None of his friends know who his dad is. He's a normal teenage boy. He admires his dad, and his dad keeps saying that, "Oh, you'll get your powers eventually." It's essentially like puberty for us, so you'll get them.
Oh, you remember that Disney movie? Like Sky High or something?
Yeah, man.
Buddy had like Superman for a mom and like a super fast woman for a mom or dad. But he didn't get any powers and then went to super high school anyway. Anyway, I'm sorry. Sky High.
Never heard of it.
What?
What? Why would I hear
Zach,
that?
it's 100% Sky High. And it came out in like, what, 2007?
Very close. 2005.
Wow. Good job, guys. Thanks for the history lesson. Okay. At high school, Mark goes there. We are introduced to two of his friends. There's William, who's Mark's sassy gay best friend who doesn't have a filter.
Nice.
And we have Amber, Mark's crush and certified babe, who is too cool for school. There's a jockey dude who's picking on and / hitting on Amber, and Mark intervenes, telling him to back off, and Mark gets punched in the gut real hard, and he goes down. Later, we see Mark working his part-time job at the Burger Mart, chucking garbage bags into the dumpster, and he chucks one into the stratosphere. That's crazy, man, because if you threw a garbage bag that hard, it wouldn't just rip into pieces.
Nope.
Anyway, he's got his powers now. That's fun.
It's a really strong garbage bag.
Anyway, Mark goes home to tell his dad. His dad's genuinely happy for him, saying that tomorrow we'll get to training immediately. It's a lovely family moment, and everybody's happy. The next day, Omni-Man starts training him, explaining his powers and what he can do. Essentially, Invincible. Oh, sorry, I said his name too soon. Mark is super strong, super durable, and can fly. And in that process, when he's teaching him, Mark's dad punches him in the gut real hard, and Mark gets really sad about it. He's like, "Oh, why'd you punch me so hard, Dad?"
Just what the bully did yesterday.
The bully punched me in the gut too hard.
I already had a bruise on my nerdy body.
My dad, I have suspenders there, and you punched them. What?
Why is his voice like that? Why does his voice change?
That's what it sounds like when he gets punched in the gut. But Omni-Man tells him to suck it up. It's a lesson about responsibility of being a hero. So he's getting away with being an abusive dad, I guess.
I love loopholes.
Because it's a lesson. And then to release some stress, Mark goes off with a homemade costume and stops a bad guy. It's some dude who can turn his skin to rocks, and I'm going to call him The Rock.
Nice.
His dad sees this, and he's like, okay, I guess I should be nice to my son. And he takes him to a guy named Art Rosenbaum, who's a family friend and a superhero costume designer. Ooh. Played by Mark Hamill, which you didn't let me say earlier, but yeah, pretty big voice there, Luke Skywalker.
Hey.
The Joker.
Yep, exactly. And they make a beautiful suit for him, which actually is my least favorite outfit in the whole show. He gets this blue and yellow spandex suit with these stupid bug-eyed looking goggles.
Nice.
I don't know. And his hair sticks out the top of it, like that new Spider-Man suit that everybody is like slamming on real hard. Pretty crazy. And then the episode ends with him finally donning his new superhero costume and calling himself Invincible, stopping another city attack by a dude with a cannon for an arm. And the credits roll. Or do they? We cut back to the Guardians of the Globe, all around the Earth being called to their HQ for an immediate meeting. They gather around, not knowing who called them there.
You called this meeting? No, you called this meeting?
You call this meeting?
No,
And he goes, I'm Black Man. And
there it is.
Out of nowhere, a big flying red fist tries to take the head off of our Flash character, but he dodges it because he's real fast. A couple more times, and they finally realize it's Omni-Man there, and he looks super stoic, not saying a word. and they're all confused, trying to reason with him, trying to figure out what's wrong with him and why he's attacking them. Eventually, he grabs the Flash by the head, squeezes it so hard that it explodes everywhere.
Fuck yeah.
So this is the first moment of the show where you're like, oh, this is not a PG superhero show. This guy's head just exploded. That is brutal. So then all the Guardians go into straight up attack mode and start trying to wreck Omni-Man, but he's Superman.
He's Superman Prime.
Yeah, Superman Prime. Because Immortal is here and he's Superman Normal. And he literally gets his head cut off with a karate chop by Omni-Man. So that shows how much more powerful he is. But in that process, the Guardians and their teamwork do get a few blows on Omni-Man, and he ends up collapsing on the ground after he's killed all of the Guardians of the Globe, and they're all passed out on the floor.
They're passed out or passed away?
Well, they're dead. He's passed out.
He's passed out while they're passed away.
Exactly. They're all passed in some way or another. Thanks, Brody. In the aftermath, everyone's dead, and Omni-Man is near death, and some invisible guards show up to investigate the scene, and we're introduced to an agency called the GDA, the Global Defense Agency, which is essentially S.H.I.E.L.D. from Marvel.
Oh, look at that.
We're introduced to Nick Fury. No, his name's Cecil in this show. He's different than Nick Fury because he's half balding, and he's got long hair. He keeps the hair on the back of his head real freaking long.
Nice.
It's a good look, man. I love it. And then there's the Cecil's sidekick, Gordon or Dave or Robert or something. I don't know. He's got a really basic name, and he looks like a character from King of the Hill.
It's Bobby Hill all grown up.
Yeah, it really does look like it. It's strange. They're investigating the scene and what happened, and they're recovering as much of the bodies as possible and like trying to figure out
Who done it?
Then we get a cold shiver in the room, and you find Hellboy standing there.
Nice.
This guy is exactly Hellboy, except he's a detective. His name's Damien Darkblood, and he's here, and he's hell-bent on solving crimes.
Hey, he's so bent on it. Good stuff.
In my notes, I literally have a winky face next to the word hellbent.
He's debatably like the coolest character in the show.
He's cool, and he's played by Mr. Krabs, and that's pretty freaking rad if you ask me, dude.
There's been a murder.
Look at all this meat on the ground. I could use it for my Krabby Patties. Anyway, he's not working with the GDA, but he wants to solve every mystery he can because it keeps him out of hell longer. So I guess that's a nice bonus for him, you know?
Whoa, how'd he broker that deal?
I don't know, man. The crime syndicate of the hell, I guess.
Yeah.
Go on.
They said, hey, bro, you want to leave hell? You got to solve some crimes for us. And he's like, cool.
Wow, that's such a rich tapestry. Thank you.
You're welcome, my dude. So Omni-Man's in the hospital, and Mark is all sad that his dad is there, questioning who could have done this. And while he's moping around, he hears about an alien attack on the city, and he's like, my dad's not there, and the Guardians are not here anymore for some reason, and I gotta go do this. And so he goes, and there's big old portals opening up in downtown of whatever this metropolis is. Maybe it's Fruit-Topia. Sorry.
Nice. From now on, it is.
It's Fruit-Topia that they live in, yeah. And they're coming through. They're these very typical green aliens. They're called the Flaxons. And they start shooting and killing a ton of people pretty brutally. So another non-PG scene where their guns are just like tearing through civilians and ripping them in half.
Oh,
and stuff.
man.
It's rough, man. These aliens are murdering everybody. Invincible's trying to stop him, but he keeps getting shot by their guns, and it takes him down. So the least he can do, there's a grandma who gets shot in the gut, and he's like, I'm going to take you to a hospital.
Do you know what she was probably doing? Listening to our podcast.
Oh, it was risky, man. That's what brought the aliens
that's why
to
she
her,
got
dude.
shot.
They're like, no, not anime, not be for everyone.
This is for the safety of yourselves.
Gleep, glap, gleep.
Bleep, blop, bleep.
He leaves with the old lady because he sees another team of superheroes popping in, the Teen Titans.
Nice.
So we got
Teen
Robin,
Titans.
Cyborg, Beast Boy, Starfire, and Raven. They're all showing up.
Fuck yeah. What does Beast Boy turned
Oh,
into?
Wait, I think I'm on the wrong notes. Sorry. Just kidding.
Wow.
No, it's actually, they're called the Teen Team, and they show
They
up.
were called the Teen Team?
Yes, they were
That's
called the
so
Teen Team.
stupid.
That's bad. Sorry, buddy. You're turning 18 next month. Yeah, I gotta go.
We got Adam Eve, She's a redhead teenage girl wearing a pink one piece.
Starfire.
She's like Starfire, but she can also manipulate reality. So I think her powers are kind of in line with like Scarlet Witch as well.
Oh, like God, Adam Eve.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Except it's ATOM because it's funny.
Because there's science involved too. Whoa, so many levels.
We got the next most creative named person in the show, Robot, and he's a robot who loves to give all sorts of facts and numbers, bro. We got a guy named Rexplode, which is a great name. I actually love that name.
That is a good name.
He's a douchey skater dude who can trigger the explosion of any object he throws, so he essentially uses a Pez dispenser and just chucks Pez at people and they explode.
I think they were coins.
They look like candies to me, man. I really wanted to eat
Oh,
one.
fuck. We know what the ad is. The Pez candies that will make your head explode
in your
because
mouth.
they're so good. They'll explode in your mouth and make your head explode with it.
It can't be another germ juice guy, though.
They'll explode in your mouth and make your head want to explode with it.
Got that friend that's always asking for gum.
Yeah.
One of these.
And the last member of the teen team is Duplicate, which is also another great pun. I like that a lot. She's a girl named Kate in a purple outfit who can duplicate herself. These aliens are too strong for the teen team, and they get overwhelmed really easily, but then the aliens all start turning gray and dissolving, and the aliens start screaming, and they run back through their portals. What is going on?
Thanos,
It's
it's you.
they save the day, so they go back to high school, and Mark realizes that Eve of Adam Eve, it's very obvious because that's her real name. She's actually there at school. And he's like, oh, I've never noticed you were a superhero before. That's crazy how you just kind of don't notice those things, They bond about being young superheroes, and she takes them to their lair where you find out that Rex and Eve are dating, but he's kind of a jerk about it. Robot says that the aliens were treated because their time works differently and they actually just died of old age. And Robot is working on a way to track if the aliens will return. And boom, it happens right in that moment as he's saying that. So they suit up, including Invincible. He's teaming up with the teen team, bro. The second attack, the aliens are back, and this time, they have bracelets that reverse the aging process, so they figured it out.
Damn.
They've also come up with a bunch of devices specifically to combat all of the teen team because they fought them last time, and they've been prepping it for decades because their time works differently, bro.
Whoa, that's such cool writing. Wait, so if they went over there, they would age super quickly?
No.
No?
That's not how that would work, I don't think. If they come over here, they're aging quickly. So if we go over there, wouldn't we age really slow?
Their time moves. They've had decades, you said.
Yeah, but they also age really fast when they come into our time zone. So I don't understand that.
Okay, wait a second.
Let's not think about it, Brody.
Wait a
It's too
second.
much. Anyway, they incapacitate all of the teen team with their special devices made for them, and Invincible is the only one, and he rages out. It doesn't make sense, Brody. And Invincible rages out and like saves them all in the moment, and in the process they realize it's the bracelets keeping them alive, and they just start like stomping on wrists, my guy. It's crazy. The aliens start withering away and they retreat again.
Like my old pastor.
Stomping on wrists?
Yeah.
That's brutal. What the heck?
It'll get the Satan out of you.
It was a deterrent, so we wouldn't,
Okay, anyway. Omni-Man is now awake and recovering. He doesn't have any idea who killed the Guardians and hurt him. A call comes in that there's a weird alien heading to Earth from deep space, and typically Omni-Man would go deal with him, but he's healing right now. So Mark's like, I'll do it. Yeah, and you hear that laugh from deep space.
Just the pitch blackness.
And when you know it, it's an orange alien named Seth Rogen. And they're battling each other in space, and they like throw some punches on the moon and create some new craters in it. And eventually it comes out that he's from the Galactic Authority, and he was doing an inspection to see if the planet could defend themselves against invasions. And he's like, you're good. And then he realized that he got to the wrong planet. He was supposed to go to Urath, not Earth.
Oh,
Friggin' Seth Rogen, am
yeah,
I right?
totally.
High on that spice weed.
And then they chuckle together and he leaves.
That's cool.
the third attack, the aliens are back. This time, no bracelets, and their genetics have been altered to withstand the time dilation. They're also super jacked. They got time to do some exercises.
How though?
Time steroids.
It's time steroids, Brody. That's all you need to know. Needless to say, our team is getting absolutely dominated. It's insane. Just when all is thought to be lost, Omni-Man shows up because he's awake now. And this actually seems kind of easy for him. Their guns don't affect him. Nothing stops him, and he just starts tearing through them. They run off screaming. However, Omni-Man actually follows them through the portal. And you're like, where did he go? And then there's this sick rock montage of him battling their entire planet, destroying buildings and military bases, and just essentially completely wiping out their entire species in a rage. And during that attack, he ends up growing a beard because the time difference, Brody? I guess it's moving faster for Omni-Man. I don't understand.
Sorry.
Again, no, I like to think it was a long time. Like he was there for like 2-3 years.
Yeah, that's what I think it
Right?
is too. I think he literally went
think
there
so?
and
Yeah.
like it was 2-3 years for him, but it was only like a day or two for everyone else.
Right. But time works different, man. Who knows? Anyway, after Mark goes back to school, he's now friends with Eve. And then out of nowhere, the bully that punched him in the gut the other episode brings him Amber's number, who's apparently she told him to be like, hey, go give Mark my number, bro.
Whoa.
And he did that now because she's now interested in him because he took a punch for her because that's what she likes.
So she
I
asked
guess.
the same bully who punched him to give him her number? Or
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty messed up, dude.
Fucking power move. Yeah.
I know. At the same time, the news about the Guardians being dead finally comes out to public knowledge. And the demon dude, the Hellboy, Mr. Krabs, is getting deep into his investigation. He goes to the GDA where he tells the head honcho, Cecil, there's no evidence of outside forces and that one of them would have had to have done it. And Cecil dismisses this, calling Mr. Krabs crazy.
He's so much cooler than Mr. Krabs, and you just it's whatever.
And I'm ruining it. The next episode opens with the funeral of the Guardians, and Omni-Man is addressing the public, being like, since they're not here, I'll step up to protect you. And then there's an even more sad private funeral for friends and family. The Red Rush's Russian wife, Olga, is like super sad and just chugging alcohol the whole time. It's devastating, man. When Eve comes back from the funeral, she goes back to the Teen Team base. She finds Rex and Kate having a 4-way with 2 people. That's crazy. Eve is really sad because she's being cheated on, and she breaks up with him and leaves crying. There's a scene where Cecil is just like, hey, I love how you Teen Team guys handled the alien invasion, even though they did nothing. I just want to point that out. They did nothing. And he's like, Robot, I love your leadership. Let's start a new Guardians of the Globe, and you can help us weed out some crappy superheroes and make a good team again, okay? And then there's a big montage holding tryouts for the new Guardians
and
of
this
the Globe.
montage is directly out of Sky High. It's bonkers. You've never even heard of this movie.
Oh, is it
yeah,
really?
Dude.
I haven't, man.
wild.
It sounds good, I guess. I'll go watch
It's
it.
not. I just want to stress, like, it's nostalgically good, but it's not good quality.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to watch it
Yes,
now.
you
It's one of
need
those
to watch
things
it
that-
now.
But it's nostalgic good. It's going to be
No,
awful,
watch
man.
it.
And in the end of the montage, there's a new team. We got Black Samson. He's an older black dude with super-powered Spartan armor from
You're
Halo,
making this
essentially.
up.
No, he's real, man. He keeps bringing up the fact that he used to be on the Guardians of the Globe until he lost his powers. Oh my goodness.
What were
That's
his
crazy.
powers?
I don't know. They don't say it.
That's cool.
You got Shrinking Ray. She's Ant-Man, but a woman. So I guess the Wasp. You got Monster Girl. She's like the Hulk, but a little girl. And every time she transforms into the Hulk, she becomes younger.
I'd kill for that power.
You turn into a baby eventually.
Yeah, but then you just wait a year.
Oh yeah, you age back up,
You
right?
could live forever.
That makes sense. All right, you got Duplicate and Rexplode and Adam Eve, but Adam Eve refuses to join the team because she's like, they cheated on me. I hate them. And so she goes off and does her own.
Well, how about you go Rexplode and Duplicate?
There's a whole plot about Mark.
Sorry! Fuck off! That was great.
What?
Rexplode and Duplicate?
Sorry.
Oh.
Anyway. You're really killing the transitions today, Caleb. You're fucking nailing it.
You're welcome. There's a whole romance between Mark and Amber, the girl from school, and I kind of hate their romance. It's so bad. I don't know, man. He calls her and asks her on a study date. She comes over and they get nerdy about comic books, I guess, and she loves his nerdy body.
Yeah.
And during that first date, Invincible gets a call from the director of the GDA saying, I need you to go do a mission. So he sneaks off for like 20 minutes and destroys some lava, dude.
But my dad said I'm not supposed to. But I guess I'll do it because you're telling me to.
Thanks, Cecil. You're a great guy.
Your face is fucked.
At the same time, he says that Omni-Man is busy because he's fighting a kaiju in Japan or something like that.
Oh, of course.
And Mark flies back to the date after beating his lava boy. And Shark Girl, maybe. No, just Lava Boy.
Anyway.
Thanks, guys. Mark flies back to the date, but she's super mad, saying she's been there for an hour just sitting on his bed. We see the dead kaiju in Japan and the GDA assistant guy from that show.
You can call him Bobby.
Bobby's there. And he says Omni-Man was on the ropes with this fight. And they're like, well, let's pack it up and put it on ice. And they seem super nefarious. What does that mean?
Whoa,
that's crazy.
Nefarious.
It's also revealed that the GDA set up a spy house across the road from Mark's house. So they're definitely acting sketchy at this point. And you're like, oh, are these guys the bad guys? What's going on?
We
here,
did see the ending of episode 1, though, still, right?
Yeah, but we don't know. He could have been mind controlled. He
I
could
guess
have whatever,
that's
man.
true.
You don't know. He said nothing.
Yeah.
You don't know if he's bad.
That's true.
The demon dude shows up at Mark's house and talks to his mom when everybody's gone, and he starts planting seeds of doubt in her head, saying like, "Oh, call me if you find anything new about your husband." You know, it's Mr. Krabs. And the clone boys are shown in jail, and things keep happening in jail to help them escape prison, and they take advantage of it. So they have a benefactor helping them escape.
Ooh.
But as they do, there's a railgun on the surface of the jail, and one of them holds up the other clone and gets him absolutely murdered. So there's only one clone boy left, and it's super sad, man.
Oh, no.
Mark continues to be trained by his dad. He's practicing flying with him, and in a heart-to-heart, his dad tells him that he was sent from the planet Viltrum as a part of their World Betterment Committee to make humanity stronger. He throws in that humans are hellbent on destroying Earth and each other, and he's here to help.
Aw, okay.
You know? Super good, right?
So then I'm thinking that the Justice League ripoffs were probably like sketchy in their real lives and like destroying the Earth in their own ways, and that's probably why he did it.
The Flash keeps running on all the grass.
Yeah, he keeps ruining my lawn, dude. I hate it.
War Woman, it's in the name.
Yeah, she literally causes war.
Aquarius rhymes with nefarious.
The Green Ghost is buying up all the green morph suits, and nobody can get them anymore.
Yeah, the CGI market is dying.
She takes them all. Mark's mom is shown comforting the wife of Red Rush, Olga, as she's mourning, and Olga brings up doubts that all superheroes keep secrets. The wife goes home, and she's super doubting Omni-Man now, so she like kind of brings out like, oh, did you hear there's kind of a conspiracy about these murders? And he's like, shut up! And he essentially just shuts her down really hard, calling Olga a drunk.
Oh,
and
fuck.
like I wrote here, as like the loving husband that he is.
Oh, wow. Now, what's for dinner?
And immediately we see the demon detective dude hanging out in his office, and Omni-Man shows up there menacingly, clearly mad that he's been harassing his family at home, and he's like, I'll kill you, bud. And Mr. Krabs, he ain't scared.
You realize I've already been to hell, bitch.
It was called Bikini Bottom.
Yeah. Oh man, that's why SpongeBob is there to torment all of the other characters.
SpongeBob is the devil.
Squidward's definitely
Squidward's just a normal
soul,
person.
Yeah.
Patrick is your sloth, and Plankton is your greed.
Oh my god, freaking, what was the squirrel's name? She was Envy.
Sandy's
Envy.
Yeah, because she envied being able to breathe underwater.
Now all I'm thinking about is Sandy.
All right, okay, all right.
The Guardians are at their new base, and there's one big blood splotch left on the wall to remind them of the horrible deaths that came before them. Rex flirts with Monster Girl, and Robot tells him not to because she's essentially a child. She's apparently 25 years old, though, but she looks like she's 12. Robot touches Rex's shoulder and pricks him with a needle.
Enjoy the AIDS.
Cecil goes to Mark and Omni-Man saying, hey, one of you needs to go with our new space crew going to Mars. I'm going to basically skip over this Mars plot because it has no bearing on the story whatsoever.
Either
way, Mark goes to Mars for 2 weeks, and he fails his mission and lets the astronauts get kidnapped, and there's a whole alien takeover plot line that happens that episode, but he thinks it's fine, and it doesn't affect the rest of the story at all. So it's just showing that Mark is kind of a bad superhero.
I like that he brought a sandwich along with him, and then when he went to eat it, it was frozen.
Because he's in space. Also, at home during his trip, the dad and mom are arguing about everything because she's all skeptical of him now. And they go to Greece on like a new honeymoon, and he asks her to trust him. And she says, yeah, because it's so romantic in Greece, you know?
I trust you. It's Greece.
There's 2 other things that happen concurrently in here. That lone clone boy, he starts successfully cloning himself again, because that's just what he does. He just makes a clone, right? And we see the robot from the teen team and the Guardians of the Globe. He's spying on them the whole time. He even has in the background what looks to be a rudimentary clone in a tank beside him. What could that be?
Oh, so curious.
We'll never know. The GDA gets mad at the demon boy for being so obviously nosy into Omni-Man's family, and they find evidence on the demon that he could have killed the Guardians. It's obviously planted evidence. Oh, no. And they exorcise him back to hell.
Get on that treadmill. We're exercising you back to hell.
That's what it feels like every time I'm on a treadmill, man.
Hell.
There's another episode with the Rock skin dude from the beginning, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Right.
He's committing a bunch of crimes, and you find out he's got a crime boss with a machine for a head, and his name? Machine Head.
Nice. At least they make it simple for us.
I know, right? The Rock, it pays off his debt, but the Machine Head's like, I know where your family lives, so you'll never pay off your debt to me.
Oh, no.
At the same time, Invincible's shown to be like rising as a low-level hero in a cool montage, sure. Nice. We see Eve getting borderline abused by her family, saying she should stop trying to be a solo hero because you're just a woman, and women suck.
Ouch.
And she's like, I hate you, Dad. And then she goes and makes a tree house in the forest.
Yeah, she changed her name to Adam Eve, but her original birth name is Eve Clancy.
Why?
Because her dad's brother's with Combo.
Oh, I see. Okay, it's Combo Clancy's his brother, I guess. Anyway. Black Samson doesn't think the Guardians are strong enough together as a team, and they get mad at each other. It's a fun little scene, sure. Debbie, who's now trusting her husband, randomly finds the diary of Mr. Krabs in her closet. Uh-oh. It says something about Omni-Man's suit being the key to solving the mystery. So when Omni-Man is out getting groceries around the world, she searches the house and finds his old suit covered in holes and blood. We also see the clones celebrating the success of the cloning, and Robot inches from the shadow saying he needs their help. So that's setting up for something. It's pretty crazy. We see Invincible helping the Rock dude take down Machine Head because he asks for it. He's like, I need your help, man. He's threatening my family, family. And so they get together and try to take down Machine Head, but somehow Machine Head is super smart because he's got a machine for a head, probably.
I wonder how, yeah.
And he's got a lot of money, so he hires like 6 different supervillains to come help fight Invincible and the Rock Johnson.
They're dead.
They're pretty crazy. The only notable one really is a giant lion. I guess he looks like a Power Rangers villain in my opinion, but he's a lion with a mace and he's really serious about everything. And Invincible and The Rock take on a couple of them, but get easily wrecked. And then all of a sudden we see Omni-Man watching from outside the window, but he's not doing anything. He's trying to teach Mark a lesson. And then boom, out of nowhere, the new Guardians of the Globe show up, and this time they use teamwork. Nice. They struggle a little bit, but they take out 4 out of 5 of the villains, but the Lion Boy is still there. He chuckles and then proceeds to break Black Samson's wrist and neck, throwing him lifeless against the wall. No. Monster Girl hulks out, but he easily bests her and crushed her skull between 2 rocks, seemingly killing her as well.
Jesus fuck.
And then Invincible freaks out because this is all his fault, He started to take on this case, and it's not good. But the lion guy takes him down and smashes in his sternum with a huge epic swing, and it's so dramatic, and it looks like Invincible's dead too.
Oh, man.
And then the lion guy says, this is like stepping on ants to me, and then he leaves with 3 superheroes dead. But hey, at least they took down Machine Head's operation, I guess.
Did they?
Silver lining. All right, are you guys ready for a game?
Yeah.
Only if it's a classic.
Well, guess what? This one is the classic.
Writer's Room?
Yeah, you know the freaking classic.
Yeah,
bro.
dude.
It's the writer's room. So I'm going to pitch you a bunch of titles for a show and or movie. I'm going to give you a few suggestions. Then each one of you can pick whatever one you want to create the best story imaginable. And then at the end, I thought this could be a cool twist. Out of the 4 stories that we create over 2 rounds, maybe we make a trailer for one of them.
Ooh. So that's the reward. I don't know why I had such a hard time saying reward.
You're not writing my script, Brody, with that brain of yours. All right, ready? I'm going to give you a few options for your first round, and you guys can take whatever you want. You can take the same one, you can take a different one, doesn't matter to me.
Let's go.
All right. Under Groundhog Day.
That's where they live, yeah.
No, it's like a crime. Anyway.
Oh.
Keeping Up with the Jimothy's, Toe Joe and his journey through the world of dance.
It's just got a fucked up toe.
It's Toe Joe, man. I got Disco Tech as 2 separate words. I got Inmate Mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cells.
That's really clever.
Crumble Dump in the Drawers of Destiny.
Crumple Dump?
His name's Crumble Dump, and I don't know what to tell you. That's just what he's...
And the what of Destiny?
The Drawers of Destiny. Whether you want that to be underwear or drawers in a cabinet, up to you, my man. Flyboy, buzzing love. The Tragedy of the Badonka-Donkey.
What has befallen him?
We'll never know. Augustine Wexler, the Man of Many Faces and Grandpa Extraordinaire.
And Grandpa Extraordinaire.
And the last option for round 1 is The Cursed Goblet and the Fluid of Fortune.
I think I'm going with mitochondria.
Yeah, you want mitochondria?
Powerhouse of the cells.
Brody, do you have one that's...
I think I'll do Discotheque.
Yeah, Discotheque. Still nobody takes Badonka-Donkey, huh? I throw it in almost every writer's room because I love the word. And I put different spin on it. Nobody takes the Badonka-Donkey.
Yeah.
It's gotta be one day, man. One day. I'll get you.
Do you want me to start then?
Sure.
Yes, please.
So, Disco is a crime-solving prodigy who uses technology and his smooth moves to solve his cases.
His name's Disco?
His name's Disco.
That's sick.
Such tech as the Funkmaster 2.0, his disco bombs, and his platformation shoes.
Platformation shoes? Is Disco Tech, like, his disco bombs are just disco balls, yeah?
Well, like
they're dollar store disco balls.
they explode into like really sharp pieces and
some funky music.
Well, that's what the Funkmaster 2.0 does. A lot of the kids out there will know, but there's like a weapon in Fortnite where it like forces them to like do a little dance. That's Discotheque's, or that's Disco's tech.
Right. His name's not Disco Tech. He just has tech and his name's Disco.
Yeah, so it's Discotheque.
So what kind of enemies does this guy go up against, Brody?
Monsters, fucking pedophiles, fucking murderers, drug dealers.
And are they all like kind of named after a different genre of music?
No.
Why not?
Okay, yeah, it's your story, man.
Does he ever run into Jazzy Jeff?
From Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Yeah, sure.
DJ Jazzy Jeff, they team up, man.
So yeah, my view of Discotheque was more of like his name's Disco, but like it's not like super bright, upbeat, like it's like it's dark. You know, it's
sad disco music.
No, it's like he still makes people dance with the Funkmaster, but like it's because he needs to. This is the technology he has at hand, and these people need to be stopped. So a lot of the show,
he's using what he has. Yeah.
A lot of the show is him like looking for clues. you know? His name's Disco. He uses tech.
There's a lot of scenes of him in his apartment in the corner sitting on the floor crying, and there's some real funky bass playing in the background, but he's like, you can tell, but he's like, what have I done?
This technology can solve everything, but it can't solve my heart.
Oh, that's the tagline, yeah.
My heart. My moves might be funky, but I wish my heart was out of this funk.
Ooh.
Oh, that's clever, man. All right, so he uses his disco tech. I like it. Zach, mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cells.
So it's like a Scared Straight show.
Oh.
Yeah. So, you know, the small vacuoles and DNA and cytosol, they all come in sometimes on their school trips, and they visit the plant cell. You know, they go up to different various cages, and wouldn't you know it, we meet mitochondria, and he fucking just bashes on the wall like an ape, like a psychopath, and he's like, "Hey, you don't want to be in here with me, I'm a powerhouse." And the small kids, the organelles, the little centrioles, are like, "Holy fuck, man. But, like, we're part of a cell, so we have to be in here with you sometimes eventually. Are all mitochondrias like you?" And he's like, "I'm one of a kind, motherfucker." And smashes his head into the sink, and there's juices going everywhere. And he's like, "Don't forget, if there's one thing you never forget about grade 7 science, it's that I'm a fucking powerhouse, okay?"
What is this show about?
It seems like one scene in the show. Does it also follow Mike? It follows his journey in the prison?
The prison guard and the teachers take the kids away, and he sits on the bed, and he, you know, looks at his hands, and he's like, "Damn, I wish I wasn't such a powerhouse of the cell."
We all wish we weren't, man. Sometimes it'd be nice to be the vacuole, you know?
It'd be nice to be known for something else, man. Like, damn. If only I knew what a vacuole did, but I don't care.
You don't know enough about cell biology to run this show. I don't believe in you at all.
If there's a nucleus, why is there a nucleolus?
You picked the worst one for this, Zach. Caleb wouldn't have appreciated it unless it was perfect.
I have a degree in cell biology. Get to my standards, my guy.
How about you go and Golgi and apparatus, you silly cytoplasm?
Sure, I will. All right.
Anyway.
Okay, Discotech is the winner of that round.
Yeah.
Sorry, Zach. You just really liked the pun mitochondria and had no clue where to go with it otherwise.
Nope.
All right, round 2. Carlos Boy Cop 2, the pubertal predicament.
Oh no, I'm getting older.
The slimy adventures of Ham Dangler. His name's Ham Dangler. He was born that way, man. You don't get to choose your name.
Apparently you do, Natalie Portman.
True. Good point. Where's the soap? Question mark.
Oh.
Tom, did you hide the soap?
The tree that doesn't match the forest.
Oh, yes, this tree is very perplexing.
The many mistakes of Michael's mom.
Was it in Michael's basement?
No, it's Timothy.
Could it be the many mistakes of Timothy's mom?
Sure, if you want. I got 2-piece instead of 1-piece, but it could be about suits or swimsuits if you want.
The 2-piece is real.
The time that Tracy tripped through time.
That's a mouthful.
That's a lot of T's, man. Cruising and bruising 5. It's the 5th of a series. You can go for it if you want.
Gotcha.
Beating around the bush.
Oh, no.
Or Pit Giggins, ancient warrior of the East. That's all of them.
Can I still do beating around the bush?
You can if you want to. Is that what you want to do?
May as well.
Could I do Boy Cop 2, the mistakes of Timothy's mom?
You want to combine 2 of my choices?
Green light. Green light.
Yeah, you know what? Sure.
So, beating around the bush is just a grade school fight club. There's this really thick bush in the middle of their playground.
Yeah.
And all the kids go into the bush, and it's got like a hollowed out area where the teachers can't see. And they spend their recesses beating the absolute shit out of each other.
Nice.
And then one day, a transfer student comes, and it's a girl.
Oh, shoot.
And she creeps into the bush one day and sees what's happening. She's like, whoa, I want in on this. And all the boys are like, hey, don't you know it's 1984? Girls don't do this kind of stuff. And she's like, I'll show you. And then she goes home and she tells her dad about the Bush Fight Club. And wouldn't you know it, her dad is Mike Tyson.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
And Mike Tyson teaches her how to box like the fucking champ he is.
Yeah.
And next week she comes back and fucking Harold McDangle is like, oh, didn't we tell you that girls should be like playing with dish towels and shit? And she's like, you know what? We have a battle. Let's go. And wouldn't you know it, Harry McDangles pulls some illegal stuff. He's got fish weights in his gloves. And
Fish
fucking
weights. Fish weights. Weights to weigh down fish, Brody, obviously.
So you win competitions.
Yeah.
So knocks our girl's teeth out. So she goes home to Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson's like, shit, now you've talked like me. And trains her a little bit more. And then, wouldn't you know it, Mike Tyson comes to school one day, and everyone in the bush is like, whoa, Mike Tyson, we love you so much. He's like, well, I don't think you guys are being nice because you've been bad to my daughter.
Kind of Mike Tyson accent.
That was actually kind of great.
It was not.
It
Thank
was.
you, Brody. Thank you.
You need to hear more Mike Tyson then if you don't think that was kind of great.
One final fight between the girl and Harry, and Mike is like, hey, let me see those gloves. And
He's so nasally.
It's his version of Mike Tyson, and I'm with it.
I know fifth weights when I see them.
Exactly. So now with a fair fight, she totally destroys Harry and becomes the new champion of the bush. And then they pose for a picture, and they're both missing the same teeth.
Oh, nice. Like father, like daughter. What's her name? You didn't even say her name.
Her name, Ronda Rousey.
Who is
that
Ronda Rousey?
Doesn't mean anything to anybody. Her name, Amanda Nunes.
Who is Amanda Nunes?
Just, they're MMA people.
Oh, yeah, we don't do that.
Right.
Today and age.
I love MMA, man.
Yeah, that's good.
Her name, Holly Holm.
Oh, no way. That's how she started, and she's related to Mike Tyson? That's crazy.
Yep.
That's so cool.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Holy
I'm
crap,
for it.
dude. Love that.
Beating around the bush, coming to a theater near you.
Nice.
Nice. Redemption arc for women everywhere.
Yep.
So I spend most of my time trying to rework the title so it made sense. So my title is Carlos Boy Cop 2, struggles with puberty and the mistakes of Timothy's mom.
Wordy, but I'll take it.
Why struggles with puberty? Can it be the puberty predicament like I had before?
Because having Timothy's mom's right after that and the predicament would...
True.
Means they're going off
I'm
full.
trying to separate them intentionally.
Right. You're right. So what happens?
Okay, so that's what we're gonna find out now. Because again, I spend most of the time writing that. So it's a prequel to the original.
It's a prequel.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, kind of like how Red Dead
Okay.
2 is a prequel. It's arty as hell.
Right. You're right.
So we really see Carlos coming to this new school, meeting all these people, and starting his business in this one. At the same time, we're seeing Timothy, his home life, and like the mistakes his mom is making, which is driving him to create this bunker and start this drug syndicate.
What kind of mistakes?
She owes a lot of gangsters a lot of money. She's been doing the ponies, and like he's seen this for a long time. He's been in this lifestyle, so he knows kind of what the kids would want for that fucking the urges of the children to make a drug syndicate.
Gotcha. So instead of like trying to help his mother, he's like doubling down. I'm gonna be a fucking crime lord.
Well, he's seen his entire life how much this makes her struggle, and like he wants to get on top of that. He wants to be the one to make the fucking
he wants to
drug
do that
lord.
to other people.
Yes.
Yes.
In order to support his mother. He sees it's a good way of making things work. And all along, there's cases that he's solving because, of course, this is a show. And there's cases he's solving that are related to Timothy starting, but he can't fully figure it out. And it all leads leads up to the big Timothy's basement of the first one. So,
hey, Timothy, your mom's making a lot of mistakes, man.
But I'll make up for it by making other people make mistakes.
Don't tell you, Timothy's not level-headed. He's starting a drug syndicate.
Mm-hmm. It's the classic, like, I have good intentions, but I'm doing the most evil things.
That's a good villain for you.
Wait, so where does Carlos's troubles, or what do you call it, difficulties with puberty come into this?
When he is on the case, he goes to a strip club called the Cotton Club. And wouldn't you know it, on stage twerking her little fanny is Timothy's mom.
No!
One more mistake for Timothy.
One more mistake. No,
He takes her into the champagne room to interrogate her, but instead, she invigorates him.
I think often puberty is associated with sexuality, but I think in this case it has to do with him trying to figure out who he is as a man, how he fits in with like friends and stuff. Puberty is kind of like mirroring his starting of a business,
His growth
and like
as a person,
him deciding what kind of man he's gonna be.
Okay.
It's a lot of voice cracking, which I couldn't even imagine how that would sound.
In
His
your
voice is already
accent.
so deep.
Timothy.
No, Brody, at the beginning of the movie, he's like, "Hi, I'm Carlos," and then later he's, "I'm Carlos," and then he like transitions into the deep voice.
I'm Carlos. How are you? Who? No.
Did you say hootie hoo?
Hoodly who?
That's Carlos's catchphrase, man.
No, it
Carlos.
should not be.
Hootie hoo?
I'm Carlos. Hoodly who? No.
Hands up, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Hootie hoo.
Hootie hoo.
All right. Out of those four, what do you think is the best to make a trailer? Just to recap, guys. We have Carlos, Boy Cop 2, whatever Brody wrote after the colon.
Struggles with puberty and the mistakes of Timothy's mom.
Exactly. We got Beating Around the Bush. We've got Disco Tech, and we've got Mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cells.
Damn. What if they're just all in the same universe?
What? That's going to be too complicated.
Carlos, Boy Cop, and Timothy are on the same schoolyard as my Beating Around the Bush, whilst Discotech is across town fighting off the crime lords that are infecting Timothy's mom with all these addictions and afflictions. And then a microscope, zoom, 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 and we're looking at mitochondria.
And then a microscope. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
The cell that mitochondria is in is within Carlos Boy Cop. It's just deep, man.
And it's a cancer cell.
Dude, and the Bush is at their school, and Carlos is debating whether he wants to go bust the Bush fighting ring.
Right, but he's got bigger fish to fry.
He decides to let it resolve itself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He sees Mike Tyson coming along. He's like, oh, that'll resolve itself.
Yeah. I might be a 40-year-old man, but I still have the body of a child. I cannot take Mike Tyson.
Are we making a trailer for any of these, or did all of them flop on the table?
I think, yeah, we can just combine them, like I said, and call it a day, I think.
On to the ad break, then. All right, what are we doing for ad, then?
It can't be the gum that makes your head explode for some reason.
Why not?
Well, because you guys said we couldn't.
We could. Is it metaphorically or physically?
It's metaphorically like 5 gum was metaphorical.
What's the gum going to be called?
6.
6 gum.
I don't know. I think some of our better ads are when they're more family owned. So like if it was like Glen's Gum or something like that.
Right, you're right.
I don't know how gum's made, so this might be tricky.
I think it comes from trees.
Welcome to Glen's Gum. We're gonna put it in your mouth. Glen's Gum, choo choo choo, and then it's gonna go down south. Ooh, gotta go down to your south. You're gonna have to poo in about 2 to 3 weeks. If Welcome to our family blended gum. from generations. My old Nana, she used to milk those trees and make the best, sweetest gum that would blow your mind.
I got fond memories of tapping our gum trees, waiting for that sticky milk to come out.
So come on down to Glen's Gums and get your gums filled with these beautiful flavors.
Get your gullet full of gum.
We don't recommend you swallow it, but hey, who's watching?
I won't tell.
Me and my brother Cecil here.
Hello.
Hey, we've been doing this for a while, and it just tastes so good going in, and it's a bit harder coming out, but we're okay with that.
I just love chewing on gum, making gum, doing all the syrups, gum.
Oh man, I'm gonna be having syrups in my gums until the day I die. Until I got only gums, if you know what I'm saying. They're sugary. They're real sugary.
It's funny.
Hey, Cecil and Glen, what kind of flavors do your gums come in?
I'm sorry, that was confusing. My name's not Glen. That's our old papa.
Okay, what's your name?
You should know my brother's name is Jebediah.
Yeah, Jebediah.
Jebediah and Cecil. What flavors do your gums come in, guys?
Oh, the classics, like oak.
Oak, yeah.
Pine.
Good.
Christmas tree.
Don't forget maple.
Oh, maple.
It don't taste like the syrup, dog.
It tastes like the tree, not the syrup.
Yeah. And we infuse those with flavors like, cheese.
Did you know vanilla tastes like a baby's butthole?
Oh, the beaver's butthole. You'd be surprised how many people just love the taste.
Hey, Jebediah.
Yeah.
I found these weird little mushrooms the other day in the forest, and I've been mixing them in with our gum. And now when I chew them, I see lots of stars and pretty girls, and then when I wake up, I'm in a pool of my own piss.
Do you know what that sounds like to me, Cecil?
Yeah.
A new fucking product. All right.
Brother!
They be doing moonshine. We be making that psychedelic gum. Blow your loads.
Oh, fuck yeah, brother. I fucking love you.
I love you too, man. I want to eat you. Let's keep milking these trees by these mushrooms.
Hey, what do we do about this fucking guy, though? He knows we're drinking in a little product now.
Well, I've been told that some of the best mushrooms grows off dead bodies.
You know what? I like how you think, Jebediah.
Well, I got a shovel and you got a shotgun. Let's see what happens here.
On the ground, motherfucker.
I just wanted to know.
You ain't taking Glen's Gums recipes.
Please. I have a family.
Curious cats get fucked.
I saw what happened to them Dynasty folks. We ain't letting that happen to us.
Yeah, I'm not going on TV now with this mouth.
So buy now from Glen's Gum. It'll taste real good going down.
Now I'm coniferous.
Swallowing this gum will make you trip for days.
Do not operate heavy machinery while on Glen's Gum.
Especially if it's the oak one.
Oh, Jebediah, fuck.
Well, remember, he's Cecil, I'm Jebediah, and you got some gum in your mouth.
Choo, choo, choo. Shit. No, I'm not a train.
What the frick? All right, guys. What in the world?
Cut it off before it gets fucking like...
I don't understand.
Wanted to show up on our doorstep and ask us what kind of flavors.
Because that's how commercials work sometimes. You guys were telling me details about the gum, so I wanted to know.
We were getting to it.
Yeah, they taste like trees, motherfucker.
Apparently.
Because we assume that's how gum's made.
All right.
So, recap?
Oh, yeah. Does somebody want to recap it? What's been happening in Invincible so far?
I'm on it. Brody, may I?
Yeah, absolutely.
May I? Come on. May I?
Kamehameha, may I?
Anime.
So, the Justice League gets brutalized by Superman. And meanwhile, two clone bros are jerking each other off. But then one dies. Meanwhile, Fred Armisen is banging some clones, and Adam and Eve figure it out, and they're like really sad about it. Don't forget Superman's kid, he got his powers, and he's flying through the sky fighting all the bad stuff, but he loses a lot. Hey, learning, right? Now, back to the story.
That was the whole thing.
Oh my god. I'll sprinkle in some. Last time on, he fights Machine Man, and then, like, big, strong lion dude beats the fuck out of a bunch of them, killing some of them, and it's like, whoa, that's our new Justice League? They're shit, and they all suck. And that's where we left off.
They managed to beat the witch in the wardrobe, but not the lion.
Stupid.
Beat the wardrobe. Fuck it up with an axe, man. Just do it.
There's a portal in there. We don't know what to do with it. Okay.
Set it on fire,
I
fuck!
can't have Mr. Tumnus coming out again. He's terrifying.
This little goat dick, I hate it.
All right, so Invincible and 2 other of the Guardians of the Globe are dead, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Not Black Samson.
And you want to know what's happening, but the beginning of episode 6 doesn't show you. You cut to college, and guess who's there? It's Rick from Rick and Morty.
Nice.
And he's burping, and he's going, yeah, you want to get me laid there, Morty?
What are you talking about?
There's a kid at college. His name is actually Doug Preston, but he's voiced by the guy who does Rick Sanchez. It's exactly the Rick voice, like one for one. It's exactly like up down to the burps and everything.
Really?
And he's essentially harassing some blonde girls to be like, "Hey, you should have sex with me. I'm a rich dude." And they're like, "You're a loser," and they walk away from him. And then out of nowhere, from a bush, he gets injected in the neck with some whatever poison, and he goes unconscious. And then he wakes up in a weird, gory sex dungeon where a mysterious voice says he's about to go through a metamorphosis.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Morty, I was kidding. Fuck, let me go.
So now we finally see our heroes. Monster Girl, Black Samson, and Invincible have been gathered by the GDA in their special hospital, and they're all out cold, but they are recovering. None of them actually died.
Nice.
Robot is paying particular attention to Monster Girl, doing anything to save her, including going and fighting an army to get a rare flower to help heal her. Is he in love?
Is this a
He's a robot.
fucking RPG? You need the rare flower from the hills of Norshire.
There will be an army of goblins on your way, but you must take them out.
I've already given her 2 gifts this week.
Fuck. It's not going to increase my hearts with her. Frick.
What do you mean she wants to eat this freaking stone? She's crazy.
All right, Black Samson, he somehow manages to recover on his own. He starts glowing, and it looks like a little electricity's coming off of him. Are his powers coming back? Mark eventually does heal on his own, too, because he's invincible. He was out for 6 whole days. And he goes to apologize to his girlfriend, Amber, for being absent. And she's like, I don't care if you were hit by a bus. It's no excuse. She literally says that. And, like, she's terrible. I hate him. And eventually he's like, please forgive me, please. And she's like, okay.
All right.
Eve tells Mark she's going off to do that solo gig. That's where she starts her treehouse building that I alluded to earlier. And she starts a humanitarian effort, growing trees, planting crops, stopping landslides or whatever. I don't know. She does everything.
Classic.
And then Mark gets approached by his best friend William, the gay best friend, saying that they're going to go to a nearby university. That's weird that we just saw one in the prelude to this episode. That's insane.
Oh, the shadow is for me.
This is a 5 shadow if I've ever seen one.
Nice, nice.
But they're going there to visit William's old summer fling, and they're going there so he can bone down, I guess. And Mark's just like along for the ride because that's going to be fun. They go to the school. They sit in on a biology lecture because, again, super fun. There's some weird, super creepy student who jumps in on the lecture and he's like, hey, man, bodies suck. What if we were to, like, make them into robots instead? And the teacher's like, get out of here, dude. And it's like, okay.
I told you not to come back in here.
Stop talking about your robot bodies.
We only like nerdy bodies in here.
Flat butts and bow ties.
Lots of suspenders that we need them everywhere.
Those pocket protectors.
Almost immediately after, a half human, half robot man screaming for his life, but he can't because something's wrong with his throat, comes raging onto campus. Oh no. Who could be behind this? Nobody has any clue at all. It's not the kid who was just screaming about mixing humans with robots. That couldn't be.
Definitely not. No.
But in the middle of the panic, Mark switches to Invincible to fight the robot guy, and somehow it's super like like super crazy strong and can take him on 1v1. It's literally a human body with robot parts on it. Why is it so strong? I never understood that at all.
Have you ever tried to fight a fucking forklift?
Have you ever tried to like fight a F-150?
If I could lift an F-150 easily, I should be able to take a robot dude down. It doesn't friggin' make any sense.
Hydraulics are crazy, bro.
Yeah, so eventually Mark, in a struggle, gets this dude's like robot helmet off, and you see it's a full man underneath, and he's like panicked.
He's like, Morty, help me.
Morty, I'm hideous, Morty. He looks at himself in the reflection of a pond or whatever, a fountain, I guess, and he sees himself and is disgusted, and he leaps into the air and impales himself on a spike on the fountain. And he kills himself.
Fuck yeah.
In the process of this fight, Will finds out that Invincible is Mark because he recognizes him immediately because they're childhood friends. Mm-hmm. Amber doesn't, and she's mad that Mark ditched them in a life-threatening scenario.
We've been dating 2 weeks and you ran away?
You're supposed to protect me.
You're supposed to sacrifice yourself for me.
From there, Will's summer fling dude, he goes out for beer for tonight, and he ends up getting kidnapped by someone mysterious. I wonder who that could be. Not the creepy kid from school again, right?
Definitely.
And I have written here, beans.
Beans.
William and Invincible go to investigate, finding a base in the sewers, and there they find 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh.
Just kidding. I watched a different movie in the middle of this, and I liked that movie a lot more.
Yeah.
Also, Seth Rogen's in that one too. Anyway, I was kidding. It's 4 more robot cyborg dudes, one of them who looks a lot like Will's fling. So they were too late, man. That's so sad.
Did he get to bone down?
He never got to bone down.
Oh, man.
No boning could be had. They boned last summer, though. They do bring that up.
Oh, it's like a whole year.
A lot of people can learn quite a bit in a year, too. It's like sexing with a different person.
He's been working on his stretching.
He's been working on his foreplay and aftercare.
Working on his foreskin.
That's where the stretching comes in.
Oh, gross.
But this time, since Invincible was overpowered by the one, he's definitely gonna lose to this fight. But William, in like a scared matter, he's like getting cut up by the weird nerdy kid who's there, because obviously it was him behind the whole thing.
Oh, what?
He appeals to the robot's romance center. He's yelling, it's like, remember when we boned down last summer? My foreskin's so much stretchier this year. And the robot's like, you're right. I love stretchy foreskin. And he grabs the back of his head and rips out his like control chip.
Foreskin? Oh.
His foreskin's not on the back of his head. Not yet. That takes practice.
It's really stretchy.
He can use it as a scarf, but not a hat.
Fucking stop. Wait, you're telling me he can wrap it around his neck, but not on top?
Physics, man.
Physics? Is this a physics problem?
Yeah.
All right, Mark gets really mad and punches the creepy nerd kid so hard in the jaw that it breaks his face.
Holy.
And then the GDA shows up and takes that kid to custody because he's a monster. He's disgusting, you know? During the trip, we see Debbie is Mark's mom. I sometimes call her by her name because I know her on a personal level. She nervously is trying to figure out what to do with the suit that she found. Remember that, guys? That wasn't in your recap. She brings the suit to the suit designer, Art, who analyzes it, and through that, they can clearly see that Omni-Man was the one who killed the Guardians, and he was the one who struck first, because the oldest blood on the suit was not his.
Bum, bum, dum, dum, dum.
Boo, yeah.
Omni-Man killed them all.
And then they agree never to tell anybody. Immediately, Debbie goes home and confidently and drunkenly blurts out to Omni-Man that she knows that he killed the Guardians.
Good job, Debbie.
He continues to deflect it, saying that she should just trust him with everything. And she's like, were you blackmailed? Were you brainwashed? Were you being controlled? All the questions that us as an audience still have.
Were you Black Samson?
And he says, no, I wasn't. It was me. And then she's like, what? And she kicks him out of the house. And in an angry rage, he just flies straight up through the ceiling.
Oh.
And leaves a hole in the roof. And she falls to her knees and starts crying. And in that moment, a bunch of invisible GDA soldiers appear around her in the house and are like, you need to come with us.
Oh, fuck.
On the car ride home from the university trip, Mark and Amber are super friggin' awkward because she's mad he ditched her.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
At her house, he's like, I'm invincible, so that's why I ditched you. And she's like, I know you're invincible. You were just lying to me for weeks, and I hate that.
Oh, this chick sucks.
Did she know the whole time?
She said she figured it out a long time ago.
So she was just the worst.
Get him, girl. Mark starts doubting whether he wants to be a superhero at all. And his friend William, while they're eating burgers in his car, gives him a motivational speech being like, we need you right now. You know, you're Will. No, you're not Will. You're Mark.
I'm Will.
Monster Girl is finally out of the hospital. She's got a welcome back party at the Guardians of the Globe. And Black
Yay.
Samson officially announces that he does have his powers back. What they are? Not sure yet. But yeah, they all have drinks together. And Robot romantically says, I'd never let you die. But on the last word die, he starts glitching out and going die, 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 and it's terrifying.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it turns out he's doing that because he's distracted elsewhere. He is with the clones, remember? Another robot body was there asking for help. So he shows up with a big old truck, and he's got that gooey body that we saw earlier in a chamber pod that's kind of like walking around on little legs. He says he wants something, or he reveals that this little gooey body is his actual, real, original body. He's not a robot. He's a man who controls robots.
You classify that body as a gooey body?
It's friggin' gooey, dude. What else? It looks like Cleveland's gum after you've chewed it up, you know?
It looks like an aged fetus.
It really does. It's disgusting. They show that the twins are actually growing him a new body from the DNA of Rex Blode. The body is currently in a kid form in their new cloning pod, and he says he wants something of his own design placed in the new body, and it's like a chip that goes into his spinal cord that allows him to control all the robots still, so he won't lose his powers, right?
True.
The twins are after a GDA control collar, they say. That's their payment for building Robot a new body. And they end up draining his chamber and moving the gross gooey body over to the new kid body. And so his mind gets transferred into, or copied into, the new body. And then we watch the old gooey body breathe and die. And now that their deal is complete, they're like, hey, can you give us what we wanted? And he's like, no, it's time for you to go to prison. And then it turns out the truck that he brought in is actually a transformer, I guess.
Oh, shit.
And he can control the transformer with his mind, and it battles the twins because he's trying to put them back in jail because they're criminals.
Wow. Robot's a prick.
We flash over to Omni-Man, who now knows the cat's out of the bag, right? Soon enough, Mark is going to find out that he was the one who killed the Guardians because his mom knows.
Mm-hmm.
When he goes home and nobody's there, except for the invisible GDA soldiers still, which he quickly figures out, and this is like a super brutal scene. There's moments where he's like crushing their heads or pushing them so hard into the kitchen counter that their body splits in half and their guts spread everywhere. It's nasty. And then he realizes that they're spying on him from across the road.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
And then the people in that house are like, oh no, don't come in here. And guess what? The guy, Billy from
Bobby.
I've never watched King of the Hill, but he looks like King of the Hill. He's in there. And Omni-Man is threatening them all, and he's like, it was a pleasure to serve you, sir. And Omni-Man's like, oh, who are you talking to? And then he detonates something, and the whole house explodes, and it's revealed that everybody from the GDHQ was watching this whole thing, and they're like, all right, that should stop him for a little while. And then the dust fades, and Omni-Man is just standing there, and he's like, shrugs his shoulders, and then flies off.
Cecil?
Omni-Man goes and finds William in the car, and Mark isn't with him anymore, and he intimidatingly dad threatens him. You know how dads do?
Yeah, of course.
You know how dads do.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't be lying to me, would you?
Yeah.
No, sir, no.
Didn't give my son beer last night, did you? No, I swear.
Okay, he took it from me.
He said he was 21.
Yeah. I believed him.
And yeah, you just get progressively younger.
The GDA sees that Omni-Man is actually going straight to Mark to tell him the news, I guess. And they're like, we can't let him get there before we talk to Mark because we don't know what side he's going to be on in this fight, you know? So they decide to do something called drop the hammer.
Oh, yeah.
And then it zooms up to a satellite out of orbit that shoots this giant frickin' laser down at Omni-Man. And it like clears the forest below and all the birds start falling out of the sky dead, and it's brutal. And Omni-Man just like his suit is kind of sizzling, but he's like, that was nothing. And then he flies straight up into space and blows up the satellite station. The GDA calls the Guardians to HQ, taking Robot away from the fight against the clones, so the clones actually get away there. He essentially just tells him, hey, sit tight. And the new robot shows up with his little boy body and says that his name all along was not Robot. It was Rudy. And he's a kid all along. And they start flipping out because they're like, Rex is like, why do you look like me but a kid? And it's this whole debate, and it doesn't even matter, man.
And it doesn't even matter.
Invincible shows up to talk to Eve, and they have a boring heart-to-heart during a really tense moment of the show, and I really didn't want to watch the scene because it's like everything else is happening. Why are you just sitting here? I hate it. They decide not to be heroes anymore together.
Aww. So sweet.
And then in the distance, Invincible and Eve see the explosion of the satellite in the sky. And they're like,
time to be heroes again.
Our decision not to be heroes lasted 5 seconds. Sorry. Yeah. Let's go check it out. So yeah, they start heading towards them. And Cecil is like, okay, I got to do something right now. And throughout the whole show, the leader of the GDA, he's been using this teleporting technology.
The Shortle.
Shortle, but it's long range. So it's more like the Lordle. But yeah, so he goes in and he's essentially just questioning Omni-Man. He's like, why did you do it? Omni-Man saying he never even needed their help anyway and that humans are all weak. And Cecil brings up his wife and says that you're a liar and your son will probably hate you when he finds this out. And you can tell Omni-Man's getting real peeved off now. And he's like, why are you even here right now? And Cecil's just like, I'm just buying time. And then a bunch of freaking half robot, half men fall down from like pods.
Whoa.
Right? What? Apparently they used that guy's technology. That's crazy.
Classic government.
And as we saw, they kind of do overwhelm him. They start like, it's brutal. They start like biting his face skin and stuff and like trying to rip him apart. And it's pretty rough stuff. But Omni-Man is just like, I don't freaking care. And he pulls one up into the air and just rips it in half entirely. And like, he just starts killing them in like one hit. And again, Cecil's watching from HQ and he's like, oh no. He's like, we got to release the Hail Mary from the ice box. You remember what they had on ice, guys?
Godzilla.
In another scene, while he's releasing Godzilla, the clones are shown stitching together someone's head, finally having the control collar they were looking for. Oh. And we find out it's the Immortal, remember? Bargain bin Superman.
Right.
And he actually wakes up when his neck is stitched together and just breaks the control collar immediately. Whoa. And he just starts screaming, Omni-Man, I'm gonna kill him. He betrayed us. And then he just flies off. And the clones are like, huh.
That sucks.
Our whole plan this entire season. And it's just nothing, I guess. So the Hail Mary is that giant squid monster Godzilla thing. And Godzilla, sorry.
Not okay.
Omni-Man's like, why you must be desperate. You're throwing this thing at me. I already beat it. He's like, we juiced it up with every enhancement we've had over the years. And we removed its pain center. So this thing's gonna get you. And it actually does get the upper hand on him. It starts like, it almost eats him. It like has it in his mouth. And then you hear, Dad, off from the side. And Dad. Invincible comes and hits the Godzilla in the head. And it like saves him, and then they're like 2v1 this monster together, and it's a nice bonding moment. But there's going to be a tense moment in the future.
Tense, he describes it as.
That's why I hate camping.
Why?
Because it's so intense.
Stupid. Anyway. Cecil does call Eve through her cell phone, which I don't know why they didn't try earlier to get a hold of Invincible. And he's like, don't intervene. We need to figure this out together. Okay. And she's like, all right, works for me. I don't want to kill Godzilla anyway.
Yeah. I'm also not fighting Omni-Man. Fuck that.
Yeah. And in the middle of the battle, you hear Omni-Man's name being screamed. And it's Immortal. He's finally there.
You motherfucker.
Exactly. He gut punches Omni-Man and they go off on a 1v1 battle while Invincible's trying to take down Godzilla. Mark eventually gets the upper hand on the beast, putting it into a bunch of power lines and taking it down. And Omni-Man eventually is like, I've had enough of this, and he punches straight through the gut of the Immortal in front of a bunch of like news helicopters that are covering this big battle.
Oh,
and he puts his other hand in him and he just splits him in half.
Damn. Nice.
And then you see, but behind the body as it splits in half, Mark is standing or like flying there, and he looks at him. He's like, Dad?
Daddy.
And then Omni-Man's like, we need to talk. Epic stuff. The big climax is happening. What is going on? Mark freaks out immediately, and he's like, someone must be controlling you, and he starts punching Omni-Man in the head. He's like, I'm gonna save you, and Omni-Man's like taking the punches and just being like, sorry man, nobody's controlling me.
I'm a free bird.
But Omni-Man explains his backstory to Mark here, and this is where we finally find out what's going on, guys. He says he's from the planet Viltrum, like they always knew, but the planet Viltrum is different than he said. It's a utopia, but it only became that way because they all murdered each other to weed out the weak from the strong. They decided that their empire was perfect, and they wanted it to be the only empire in the galaxy, forcefully spreading from planet to planet, and anybody who refused, they just wiped out their planet.
Sounds like Christopher Columbus.
Wow.
Truth.
Exactly. This is paralleling the English Empire, man. The expansion started to slow because the forces, there were so little of the Viltrumites because they killed all of each other, that they weren't able to spread out onto planets because they didn't have any troops anymore. So essentially they just sent their most trusted officers, a single one, to every planet. So for over the years, they could slowly weaken the defenses of the planet so that they could take over.
And he decided to, instead of in years, doing it in one night.
Mark was 16, got a son with powers. He's like, all right, now maybe I can go home. Fuck this place.
Yeah, he was tired of it, right? So yeah, he said he started the family undercover, and of course he couldn't tell Mark's mom. That she wouldn't understand. She's just a human. And he wants Mark's help to get the Earth ready for the Viltrum Empire. So he needed to make sure that Mark was a Viltrumite first by getting his powers through puberty or whatever before he told him any of this stuff. And then Mark refuses, and he's like, I know you're lying. You love this planet. You love my mom. And he's like, we live thousands of years. It's just a speck of my life. It means nothing to me. He's like, everyone you know will eventually die, so you might as well do something worthwhile with your life. And he drops the bomb. He's like, I love your mother, but she's more like a pet to me.
Oh,
and then, damn. Yeah. And that really triggers Mark in that moment.
Because of all the doggy we've been doing. Sorry.
Doggy. Yeah, great joke. Anyways, Mark refuses.
It cuts me every time.
He says he doesn't care about Viltrum. He only cares about Earth and his friends and family, and he refuses to let his dad conquer it. So it's battle time, and
anyways,
you didn't say anyways. You're missing a crucial part of the bit, my guy. So the
anyways.
GDA. So late, dude.
Thanks, Birdie.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Frick. All right. So there's a fight between Omni-Man and Invincible. Essentially, Omni-Man's like, I'll teach you a lesson. How about that? Like, life is fleeting for humans. I'll teach it to you. He punches Invincible so hard straight into a city, and he ends up destroying a few buildings in the process. And as the buildings are collapsing, Invincible catches it and tries to save a little girl and her mom. And then Omni-Man just comes in and like finishes knocking down the building. As the rubble's falling, Mark still got the woman's hand in his hand, and he's like, oh, I saved her. And then he lifts it up and it's a detached arm from a body.
Oh, no.
So he's having like an emotional breakdown because he's losing all these people to his dad. And Mark gets mad and he's like, humanity's not worthless like you say it is. And then he's like, oh yeah? And he knocks him down into a subway station. He holds up Invincible to a train that's oncoming, and the train runs through both of them, not damaging them, but everybody inside the train is exploding into bits like in front of him and coating Invincible in guts. And
it's fucking brutal.
It's so brutal. And he's just screaming and crying, essentially. The Guardians of the Globe choose to suit up and try to save the lives with all the destruction that's happening. They're not going to fight. They're just going to help save. So that's good. Thanks, guys. Thanks. The battle continues, and Omni-Man throws Mark into a mountain, beating his face in. And this is like the scene where you see him just laying there with his gooey face. I don't know. Anytime something's like bubbly looking, I describe it as gooey.
Ski.
And he's like gasping for breath and stuff. And Omni-Man's like just screaming at him while Mark can't even say anything. And he's like, you want to die for this planet? Fine. What's 17 more years? I can always make another kid.
Oof.
And it's, another gut punch to the core. And he's still wailing on Mark the whole time he's doing this. And there's a lot of gushing. And as he's beating him, we get a little flashback in Omni-Man's eyes to a baseball game where he was like grumpily sitting on the bleachers, like rooting for Mark, like to run around the bases or whatever. And he's like, why do I have to be here? This is so stupid. And his wife gives him a life lesson. It's like having children shows us what life is all about. And he's eventually like, yeah, you're right. And he starts cheering, and they actually have a nice, good moment.
Nice.
And then flash forward back to Mark's bulging, brutal face. And Omni-Man can't keep beating him to death and just falls and collapses beside him while Mark is gasping for air. And Omni-Man's like, why did you make me do this? Think, Mark. That's the meme.
Yeah.
Classic meme.
The meme, isn't the meme Think, Mark, Think?
Yeah.
Because there's no second think in the actual show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I watched it and wrote it down specifically. There's no second think.
Oh.
Ridiculous. Memes, man. They don't get the content right. But we here at Anime Not Be for everyone.
Dispelling memes since 1944.
And he yells at him and said, what will you have after 500 years and everyone you love is dead? And Mark, with his like gasping breath, is like, I'd still have you, Dad.
Oof.
And Omni-Man gets real sad, and he actually starts to cry. But he doesn't want his son to see it, so he launches out into space and just flies away.
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah. That's what he's teaching. I could just end it there. There's a couple things wrapping up the stories of other people, but if you want to see that, you can. It's really depressing ending where the mom is going through a crisis because her husband just saw her as a pet.
Oh, yeah.
Mark is deciding that he wants to just kind of go to high school and not really be a big hero.
So should we recap for you?
If you want, yeah.
All right. Boys like Harumph, I don't have powers, but my big daddy does. He's got real big powers. And then one day he's throwing out garbage and he's like, oh shit, I do have big powers. Meanwhile, Big Daddy is like, oh man, I need to kill all these superheroes to keep my son and me safe. So when the Vulture Knights come, we good. But no one else fucking knows that. There's Mr. Krabs trying to solve the case.
Thank you.
And he can't seem to do it because, you know, everyone's just being like, fuck off, Mr. Krabs. And he's like, Harumph, I'm a
You're a
demon.
loser, Mr. Krabs.
Fuck off, Mr. Krabs.
Mark decides, I'm going to be named Invincible. And throughout the entire show, people are like, oh, you're an idiot if you think you're invincible. And then he lives, so whatever.
So he kind of is.
He solves a bunch of stuff with the teen team, and then the teen team, with the help of an older black man, become the new Justice League. And they're fucking terrible at it. Most of them getting seriously injured against the freaking Lion Man.
Don't forget the Witch in the Wardrobe.
And the Witch in the Wardrobe.
No, they take those ones down. Easy.
Yeah, those
just
are
a line.
easy. There's an alien force that's like fucking with time or whatever, and the Omni-Man.
That was with the teen team.
Omni-Man goes and he fucking decides to eradicate that entire planet, and at that point we're like, oh, cool superhero shit. And then
Wow, cool.
and then afterwards they're screwed. They're screwed because Omni-Man knows that they know that he killed the Justice League. So then
it was on the news.
Yeah, it was on the so he starts killing the invisible fucking soldier dudes, and they're all like, oh no, what do we do? Beam him, blow him up, fucking throw Godzilla at him, and have little baby Superman come and kick his butt.
Beta
and then
Superman.
we have Jets kicking his butt. Nothing wants to kick his butt. Okay, well what about his son? His son can't kick his butt. butt, and instead his butt gets kicked by his dad, and he beats him. But then he's like, "Oh man, you threw that ball really good at that baseball game. Harumph, fly away."
that one time, fuck.
And then Mark's there like, "Daddy, why?" And before that, Daddy was just like, "Voltronite."
Voltronite.
It's Viltrumite, but I appreciate every detail that you left in.
I'm part of the Voltronites. I think it's better, actually.
It does sound better than Viltrumite, to be honest.
Voltronite sounds like a metal we need to consume. Oh, make sure you take your pills to get your Voltromites.
We harvest it and put it in our gum, Cecil. Voltrumite.
It's got a shock to it. Fuck.
Feel my veins, they're bulging.
Where's your cock out?
Do you know what I realized during that entire ad? We never talked about how it would make your face explode.
Nope.
I was just happy with gum that came from trees, and we were southern bumpkins. And
works for me. So did you guys both watch this show? What are your actual opinions on it? Because through Brody's recap, he seemed very not interested in it.
My first time was awesome. Like, I don't know. Like, you say it's really redundant in, like, stealing ideas, but I don't know if, like, again, I'm not a big comic book nerdy boy, but has Superman ever been the bad guy?
Oh, yeah. There's something called the Injustice story arc where the Superman turns into the enemy of the Justice League.
Okay.
But I think he's usually controlled in those situations, is he not?
Usually, or someone's lied to him or whatever. I do like this show. Yeah. I just like
6 out of 10.
I just like half-assing the recaps because it's more fun that way and quick.
Oh yeah, it's great.
If I was to be like Omni-Man, who's fucking sick, right? He just blows people's heads off with his like pinkies and shit, like Midoriya, but a big man. All right,
with a sick mustache, dude. Look at that mustache,
and that voice just so sultry and pure. I fucking love it. Let's go. And then his bitch boy Mark is all like, "Oh, I threw a garbage. Look at me. I'm strong like my daddy." But he's not. He's a little bitch boy.
Okay.
You don't have to do the whole recap again.
Well, thank you so much for listening, guys.
Thank you for listening to me bring this anime adjacent show, which is not anime or adjacent, but it's,
it's a good time. It's cartoon.
Tune in 10 episodes when Caleb will bring to us Friends.
It's anime adjacent just because the characters evolve but still have the same stories progressing throughout the entire series.
And then Joey bought a lazy boy, and like it was a whole episode.
There was a duck just quacking and they're like, "What?"
There's probably at least one Japanese writer to that show, so I could get away with it.
You would talk about that Japanese writer for a half hour, too.
Shut up! Some people like the history of shows.
Born in the small town where they had rice grown from a young age.
Anyway, follow us on Instagram. I post things there, and I'll get back to it pretty soon. I've been busy editing and doing this stuff, but it's a fun time over there, and we like your support. We like hearing you talk about your opinions on what shows we should do next and everything, and email us at animenotbe@gmail.com. We love personal emails. They're our favorite thing to read.
For shizzle, even the hate mail.
Thank you to Good Kid. They are still making those slapping jams. They did a cover recently. It's really good.
Listen to them on Spotify, support them, follow them on YouTube. They've got 2 different YouTube channels. Some of the stuff is their music and some is the behind the scenes.
I love their BTS.
And make sure to click like and follow us on all their podcasting services. Write a review. We never say that.
Fuck, a review would be lovely.
A review would be great, dude. On Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can leave a review typically.
Yeah.
And it would make us look good and draw in new listeners, and we really appreciate word of mouth.
If you got four seconds.
Yeah, even if you just want to hit 5 stars and not write anything, that's good.
We would rather you write something because we want to know what you like and what you dislike. What if there's a bit that you just can't handle and want to stop? Let us know.
If you hate Combo Clancy, we'll kill him right now.
Shout out to Humbler Tumblr 420. He's the reason we don't talk about Brody being a lawyer anymore.
Because he came at us saying threatening words, and we were like, all right.
Mm-hmm. And we couldn't fact check if he did go to Harvard, but we got scared anyway.
Brody,
Yeah.
you're going to go next in the episode. Do you have any idea of the show that you might bring to us next week?
I might do Pluto. I might do Ragnarok Season 2.
What is Pluto? Like Mickey's dog?
No, it's, I'm pretty sure it's a
Also
remake of Astro Boy.
Oh.
Isn't that what Mega Man was inspired by?
I believe.
He's iconic.
So it looks really cool. It's new on Netflix, so I might give her a go.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it could be something completely different. I don't want to have anyone be excited about something and then I find something else.
Yeah.
Asterisk, don't get excited.
But be excited at the
But
same
be excited
time.
for the mystery of it all. Thank you guys
Yeah.
for listening, and remember, anime not be
For
For everyone.
That's not even the outro, son.
Mission sequence.
That orbit that surrounds you. That orbit that surrounds you. That orbit that surrounds you. That orbit that surrounds you.
I have Timmy and Tom, dude. I might leave it out of the episode, but I have Timmy and Tom : out of the tub.
Holy shit. Tom, it's raining.
You're getting bigger, Tom. I'm Tom. Squeeze me, Timmy.
I feel cleaner, but also squish.
Can't fucking beat me.
Fucking Tom.
Punches Godzilla in the face.
Pushes Omni-Man aside.
I'm
Oh
Tom.
no, there's a hurricane coming. What's gonna happen? Gush, 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 gush. You know, gets even more jacked.
I eat planets. I'm Tom.
I am Tom. I see all.
Bring me to your parents.
What?
Where is my Timmy? Where is my Timmy? Gush, gush, gush. Timmy, where are you? Just. Sorry.
We've created our own story
Sorry.
already.
That's why we can't do that one now.